Okay, so are we being gamed? And if so, by whom? Congress or the president, or both? Tonight, the House voted no to the president's request to raise the debt ceiling by another $1.2 trillion. But the vote is symbolic. The debt ceiling will almost certainly go up anyway. So why the vote? Congressman Aaron Schock joins us. Nice to see you, sir.
Hey, good to be with you, Greta.
Okay, so why the vote? Because we all know that it's inevitable that the debt ceiling will be raised again.
Well, we have the vote because the law that we passed in August requires it. It gives Congress the opportunity to weigh in once again on the president's request for more spending authority, more debt. And the House of Representatives, since the Republicans took control earlier last year, has been insistent on making our spending an issue and trying to raise awareness among the public and hopefully try and pressure the president to finally put forward a plan to deal with it. We're the only chamber to actually try and do something about it. We passed a budget that curbs our spending, that reduces our debt, that deals with our entitlements, but we can't negotiate with ourselves. And we've been sitting idly waiting for the Senate, waiting for the president to do something so that we can finally pass a budget that puts ourselves on the path towards fiscal responsibility. So
that the viewers understand, it's sort of the odd quirk is that a vote yes on the resolution today was really a no to raising the ceiling, right? I mean,
correct.
Okay, just so that to me, because it's a little bit confusing. The Senate is going to vote, and you don't expect that they were going to try to put the damper on the president raising the debt ceiling, right?
Well, that's up to the Senate to decide.
But I mean, practically, I mean,
yeah, the president has made it clear he will veto a disapproval of the debt increase. So if he were to veto it, then it would come back to the Congress, in which case we could probably get the 2/3 in the House, but I'm not sure that he'd get 2/3 in the Senate to override the president's veto.
I'm curious if you know. I understand why people vote yes. I understand why people vote no. But what I don't understand, there were two members of Congress. One is from your home state, Congressman Joe Walsh, and also Congressman Jeff Landry of Louisiana. Both Republicans voted present. Any idea what their thinking was?
I can't speak for those members.
I know.
I've never voted present in my life. So at the end of the day, I'm here to vote yes or no and take the heat for it. But I guess there's that third button is always an option.
It always strikes me as odd, vote present. I mean, what's the point? I mean, there's got to be some, we are elected to vote one way or the other.
You make a good point. I come from the state legislature in Illinois, where President Obama was, and he won the award for voting present more than anyone in the state legislature. So I think we're elected to take a stand, to take a position on issues, and in the case of the debt limit, I think Americans are expecting their House members and their Senate members to take a stand, and more importantly, to offer a proposal. Next Tuesday, it comes before the Congress for his State of the Union. It will be 1,000 days since the United States Senate was able to pass a budget. I think that's pretty damning of the Senate and the President.
If everything goes as expected, the debt ceiling will be raised. But this is the third time since August, part of the deal that went down in August. But how long before we're going to use up that added debt ceiling, and then what's the plan?
Well, the expectation when it was passed in August was that this was going to get us through until after the election. You remember the president's big argument was he only wanted to deal with this once. He didn't want to have another
that's not working
battle.
Out.
The problem, of course, is our economy has not rebounded as he had predicted, and he's refused to work with us to reduce spending. So if we continue on this trajectory, we very likely will run out of money before next fall, and we'll be revisiting this before the election, which I think is something, quite frankly, from the president's perspective, he does not want.
Do you really think we're even going to get as far as next fall?
I'm not going to prognosticate on what the revenues will be, but obviously they're much less rosy than what the White House is predicting this August. So then we go,
let's assume that it happens before election, sometime before election, then we go back through this whole cycle again of what to do, right?
Well, you raise a great point. The question is the president going to use this next year? Is the president going to use the last year of his first term as president to lay out his vision for how he wants to serve as president, for what his plan is to deal with the debt? He started his presidency with forming the Deficit Commission. He started his presidency saying, I want to deal with that, and ignored it.
Yes, those results were ignored.
And since then, he hasn't been able to produce a budget that can pass. In fact, his budget that he produced last year got 97 no votes in the Senate, 0 yes votes, even in the Democrat-controlled Senate. So at some point, I think this might be a perfect opportune time for us to begin discussion right before the election next fall, and for the president to have to answer the question the American people are going to be asking, which is, where's the leadership, where is the plan, and where are we headed if Barack Obama serves a second term as our president? God forbid our debt will be even higher.
Congressman, thank you, sir.